Yes, he was even a substitute player.
Yeah, what? Wait, he was a substitute player for Licht?
Yes, exactly.
He kind of came out of nowhere, and everybody was just so taken aback by how incredible his performance actually was that that's where you really get to grasp that understanding of how talented every region is in its own way.
Here we got an RTO ban. Not a surprise there. We also saw RTO banned out last game. That cripple is just so annoying to deal with.
Yes, a very potent character. Not surprised to see getting banned out. Just very meta character. Just like Uller here getting banned. Quite surprised by the Odin ban.
Who are they banning out for Odin?
Especially seeing that he got nerfed recently. Perhaps they're looking into a healing comp that would get hard countered by Odin. So maybe they're actually looking to play Ra.
Oh, yeah, and especially gods that don't have an escape, such as Ra.
Exactly. First pick looks to be a Musenkab, which is not a surprise, just like LG here. Just very much the best hunter there is currently up for grabs and quick looking. And
that's definitely going to go to Emilito, probably not Yaman.
We could see both.
Wow,
yes.
Okay.
It's a very flexible pick for NRG because of the fact that Yaman just has a history of being able to pick up hunters and maneuver them throughout the mid lane with very sick rotations. His rotations always seem to be at the perfect time when his team needs him most. I love the response, though, from Nocturnes to pick up the Sylvanas Circuit. You're compensating a little bit should that AMC be in duo or mid by having some early clear pressure from Sylvanas. And plus, Circuit, great god for the lockdown potential against the B.
Noit also just loves Sylvanas. He played it a lot during his LATAM games.
Yes. For me, this is telegraphing a healing comp from the LATAM team, and I think that Circuit is also there to prevent NRG from picking it, to make sure that when they pick up more healers, they can't counter with Circuit. The Odin ban also got hands in hand with the Sylvanas pick here, and Ravana, Raijin selected for NRG. I like it. Just high pressure. Ravana most likely in jungle, and Raijin will be going to the mid lane.
Lots of pressure. What are they going to have to do? Do you think Hachiman's a good pick here against AMC?
He's the perfect pick.
Yeah, I personally absolutely love Hachiman. I think he's a great character and what he brings to the team. Absolutely lovely, and I just thought overall solid pick. Surprised by the
Erlang,
yes.
Well, Erlang got banned a bunch during regionals. Maybe that's just a common ban. They don't really know Nocturnes that well.
He took a short nerf to his Mink, but Erlang also fits into the draft because he does have healing on his ult, and you can't draft anti-healing very effectively like from NRG anymore. So Circuit is picked and Odin's banned out. So banning Erlang is, I like it.
Seems like they don't want Iraffer to have Fafnir there, which seems understandable.
Yes, very much so.
It'd be way too annoying trying to deal with it. Even though it's not a double hunter composition, Fafnir just provides so much initiation because once you go into that draconic form, you're not taking any more damage and you're able to slow anybody who's still trapped around that AoE. I love this Kabrakan ban, though, by Nocturnes, kind of taking a little bit of a memory from NRG, knowing that Maniac definitely has that in his god pool.
Yeah, I think it's a good ban, for sure.
What is NRG going to have to pick up here to like even out their team? They seem to have a lot of burst potential, but maybe not a lot of control.
Yeah, they are a tiny bit low on hard CC force. They have a heavy early pressure team comp. I think they just want to shut this game out. I'm guessing for support, they're going to pick up Guardian guaranteed. You can play warrior support if you want to, but they're not going to do it, I think. Kukulin coming out here.
Not a surprise.
And not a surprise. I'm actually surprised that this character got through this far. Yeah. Even though he is not a Destol-centric character, he is great in the early game. Getting rage form in the early levels, can control the lane matchup. I like it.
I'm kind of looking for a Geb here for NRG. It provides some of that hard CC.
The knock-up, the Cataclysm.
And it is, even though it didn't really get to come to fruition for Silo in the last game where they tried pulling out Geb versus Circuit, I think Raffer might have a little bit more success with the rest of his team backing him. They've been playing together for so long that...
He enjoys aggressive gods, though, and I don't really see... I know Geb's Blink is aggressive, but it's not aggressive unless you have that Blink online.
He actually has a very nasty Geb.
Really?
That was probably one of the first gods that I think he really started building a name around to actually, as far as I can recall at least.
Yeah. The Geb is also a technically good pick since it works quite well against the Circuit. Also, actually we see Raijin hovered here, and not so Xingqian hovered here.
Xingqian, that makes sense.
Can go solo and support.
Oh, wow. You wouldn't see him in the support, though, with the control?
I would rather like him to see in the solo lane, and it looks to be a Geb here, hovered and locked in.
All right, you were right. Geb for support. We got Xingqian over in the solo lane. And Nocturnes Gaming is ready to go, but they need one more pick. What do you guys want to see here?
I want to see the Ra.
They need more shred, I think. And this is a very, a little bit of a risk pick, actually, choosing to commit to that Discordia, mostly because of the fact that this Robin, especially with adapting, piloting that god, he's going to look for that dive almost every single time. And Discordia can really struggle with staying alive. She has a great burst kit. Excellent at helping cause a lot of calamity during team fights, but still very hard to get away from a Robin Raijin combination.
And we haven't seen her in competitive play, although at Worlds it is notorious that new gods get picked and played a lot. And is that because they don't know that she's not good yet, or is that because gods can, when they're released, be a bit strong?
It's a little bit different when it comes to the competitive setting, because picks that you'd see as strong in ranked aren't necessarily the greatest at competitive, and vice versa. It all really boils down to the team's comms and what kind of draft they're basing their teamwork around.
All right, guys, I'm going to ask you, who are you going to give it to between NRG versus Nocturnes?
I would have to say NRG.
Giving it to NRG. I think they got exactly what they wanted. If Nocturnes wins it, it is because of Discordia, but overall energy.
Oh, Demi, all right, so let's pay attention to the mid lane, everyone. Discordia gonna maybe wreak some damage, or not. We're about to find out, everyone. It is NRG Esports versus Nocturnes Gaming in match number 2. Casters, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Kelly. Tom Battinger here next to Graham Hadfield. And the first question I want to ask you, Graham, is Discordia that good?
I don't know. I mean, Demi thinks that that could be the only way that Nocturnes could win this, so we'll go from there.
Yeah,
I think her control is good. Her mid-early game damage output can be quite strong, but I feel like late game can tail off a little bit, just because she can't get in range most of the time to get some of those abilities down without being maybe just susceptible to being destroyed herself.
I suppose the late game is nice, but I mean her clear is not anything to really write home about. The ultimate is, in my opinion, a little bit lackluster. And you know, talking to the other pros around here, don't just take my word for it. What a lot of people are saying is that sure, she's a fine mage. She's good, but by no stretch of the imagination is she going to be first pick, first man, or going to alter the game by herself.
Realistically, I think she's a viable mage in the mid lane. She's nothing that's going to break it for sure, but she will make an impact in her own way. If you think about the fact that when you've got Circuit on your team as well, they've got multiple kisses that are going to go off. In the team fight over and over again, Circuit going in, looking for the kisses, and then you've got her following up too. Then the apple can disorientate a little bit more. This is energy, though. I don't know how well it's going to work, especially with Geb shields being in the wings, too, if needed.
That's the key right there for me, is the Geb shield. Like you said, a lot of that, what do we call it, the madness?
Yeah.
A lot of that unique CC that Circuit and now Discordia can bring is what we're seeing here. And I think that was the idea. I think that was the mindset. But Geb shield just, it's gone.
Yeah. Nothing really surprising with this game either, with in terms of picks that Energy went for. I mean, rather than jungle for adapting, just super aggressive. He's played a lot more assassins through supers, but he did start to learn and go towards these warriors when he realized everybody else was doing the same.
Well, let's get right into it. Here we are, Latin Americans, Nocturnes Gaming versus Europe's NRG Esports. Emilito, starting up here in this, on the AMC, very interested to see where he's going, but this is the lady of the hour, the Discordia. First time seeing her.
And let's see what she can do. I like that he threw out that damage early on. The simple reason I like that is because if you have your passive, you get bonus damage. So gain some early damage on any character. If you're Nocturnes, you wouldn't mind seeing that for Noz, or even Hachiman to help him out a little bit in terms of wave clear up against the Emus and Cobb, if that situation arises.
Exactly. So as we'll keep on going, we'll see how everything works out. And you know, like you said, that passive, very important in the early game. Emilito gonna go say hi, not starting in his natural lane, instead all the way in the mid lane.
But look at left-hand side as well. They've sent 2 members to the left-hand lane here of Nocturnes, and I like this. Use Sylvanas and Hachiman, get Hachiman nice and comfortable in this lane. Energy doing very similar sort of situation to what LG did. Double Hunter, technically, I mean, it's Raijin in the mid lane, but sending both the carries to the mid lane.
Exactly, and this is sort of what, like, I generally talk about the equation that is lane balance and lane push. Love the way we're seeing the team handle the solo side. 2 players fighting in the lane and then 2 players fighting on the buff itself. Beltway gonna try and deal with what Maniac and Adapting are dealing with, and honestly, looks like Nocturne winds up the better in that scenario.
I mean, it's okay, they're gonna be able to farm out for the most part, but they've got to respect it's a Jing 10 Raven. Raven in the early game is gonna do a lot of damage, although Kukulkan isn't much of a slouch. Sorry, Kukulkan, I should say, isn't much of a slouch whatsoever. But I mean, the big thing with him is they should be looking for aggression, but Nocturnes probably going to be a little bit more respectful than they would against, you know, people from their own region, knowing this is the world champs.
Well, they successfully defended their blue buff, can't say the same about the speed buff. Yaman and Emil gonna come rotate, and SMITE understands, and here's a little bit of a tussle. Zigzag is good, Beltway takes big damage, but he walks away under his tower. Blue buff gets annihilated. NRG successfully take the right side of the jungle.
And it's all about stripping away these early buffs where possible. So already stolen the speed and the blue buff. They've still got their own speed and blue in the jungle too. So it's going to be a level lead for multiple people as this continues. I'm just going to put Nocturnes a little bit further behind in this early game.
One of the interesting things about this start, putting big push in the mid lane, Hindu, is the fact that we see Raffer at the top of the, or excuse me, we see the support from Nocturnes top of the net worth.
Watcher's gift.
Sure.
That's all it is. It's Watcher's gift and rotations.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, are you going to care if your Sylvanas is ahead? Wouldn't you rather other players?
If he gets to level 5 a little bit quicker than everybody else, that's not a bad thing in the world whatsoever. The ultimate can make a big game-changing situation, especially if there's no beads available. And you actually look at NRG's relics here. There's only one beads, one Aegis, and then everybody else going for different things.
Yep, everybody sort of getting ready. In fact, you see Maniac with the meditation. Interesting choice there, especially going into a god like Circuit that will cut down all of your healing 100%. Beltway is going to cut it by a decent amount as well. Don't forget, your relic meditation is affected by anti-heal as well.
Correct, and also, yeah, in the laning phase, you're going to have that with your color, and that's going to cause some problems there. What I will see as time goes on, though, is that meditation is still viable. It's good, like Shell, it's just better in the late game because you need the levels to make it more effective. Shell is great in the early game, but not as effective as Med can be in the later stages, especially when you're like, hey, two of them just backed, we could just Med and take a cheeky fire giant hit.
I actually still love meditation. I think there are a lot of applications, but what's interesting here is that Maniac's actually tipping his hand, adapting, thinking about making the jump, but instead backing to base as he hits level 5. By Maniac going meditation first relic, he's telling us that he's not going to buy Shell. So expect a blink or even a frenzy later on.
It almost feels though that NRG's relics here are kind of like, you know what? We're going to show these relics game 1 because we might not even run them the rest of the tournament. And then just put things in other teams' minds in this tournament of like, is that what they're doing? Sure. Should we be doing this? And then NRG are like, well, no, we're not really. We just wanted to throw that curveball out there.
That's also the benefit of a placement stage, a benefit of being the higher card, as we said. No bones about it. NRG is sort of expected to take the W here, so Nocturne's trying to fight with that underdog spirit.
Yeah, and we're just going to keep an eye on Yamin now of where he heads out, just looking to ward around for most of them as this stands at the moment. Only 4 minutes in, still no deaths, but definite lead for NRG in terms of levels. As you can see, just a couple more ultimates available a little bit further along.
What I do like, though, is that NRG have successfully invaded the speed and the blue buff, and yet Nocturnes are only a couple down. Ultimate from Yamin right on through, adapting it to jump on in. Nice ult from Sylvanas. And despite NRG's best efforts, Nocturnes won't die, but Hindu, that aggression will open up the right side of the map.
Funny enough, it was Nocturnes that got aggressive. NRG tried to respond, and it went even for the most part, but it might not be even now with the speed buff being looked at by NRG.
Here's the thing, SMITE still has his ultimate, the Circuit player, so he's able to jump on somebody. NRG, take note, they're not going to go too hard for this speed buff. And the same thing with the blue.
But they may look at the blue as knowing there's only 2 on this right-hand side. Now 4 men of NRG still around this area. Nocturnes abandoned the blue buff quite clearly. Sylvanas is left to the left-hand side by Night 2 Lover there. So free blue buff, not as effective as the first steals, but still effective.
Yeah, still a good choice. I like that one. Nocturne's down about the prize of a first blood, despite there not being one just yet. So NRG's invades have proven fruitful for the defending world champions.
Still not sure about the swiftwing for Rafa. I get the idea behind it, the intention to be able to rotate back to base very quickly and then zoom straight out with rollout as well, take into account. It can help you out quite a bit.
I actually love Swiftwing.
I'm not so sure, man.
The stats on it are actually really nice. There's a decent amount of health on it. It's only 800 gold, remember, and you're getting a lot of that back. 100 health, 10 HP 5, and the passive movement speed in addition to that zoom out the base. 800 gold, you're getting 533 when you sell it back. Dude, I love this item, and I think it's criminally underpurchased.
But then you could have low nose mask and get some free health and some extra gold in your pocket too. You could get your Talaria online earlier, so you're getting your Talaria stacks and the movement speed that you want anyway. It's such an awkward thing. That's the issue, is where you buy it. And Rafa maybe looking at Swiftwing second item.
Yeah, it's the bridge item here. It's going to allow him to sort of forego boots. Beltway in a little bit of trouble. The nice root keeps adapting at base.
Yeah, didn't panic too much there, but a relic was used, but now SMITE on the rotation, looking towards Maniac, blinking. Kiss is good, throws him back towards the ultimate coming out. Got a beltway and first blood to the Latam America. Latin America, I was going to say that.
You're talking like ATM machine. Right? It's all good. Either way, things showing up sunny for the guys from the Southern Hemisphere. Nocturnes Gaming rocking it so far. And with that first blood, bang, they're right back in it.
But that's a big boon as well for Nocturnes because they just held on for the time being. They went aggressive earlier with NOSQ. Now seeing SMITE getting that first blood. Really good for a Circuit.
What I really liked about that was just good old-fashioned SMITE. They waited for their opportunity. It's 6 minutes in, so they didn't wait too long. We talk about that a lot, being too safe, too passive. SMITE waited for his opportunity, found it, bam, went in it, and he's rewarded for going the dangerous Blink first relic.
Now, going back to that Swiftwing one more time. Well, he didn't go for the gold boots anyway, so we can just ignore that. He actually went for the reinforced boots, so the extra mobility really coming into play more than anything else. Like reinforced greaves for Rafa there. I love the fact Circuit got killed though. Circuit getting the kill early is something you really want in your team. When a Circuit doesn't get a kill in the early stages, it's very hard to actually feel like she's making an impact.
That said, she's still down 2 levels to Adapting's Robin.
And that's more to do with energy just out superior farming and looking for an opportunity.
And there it is, right on top, SMITE. 1-2 punch coming out from Adapting. And the one who finds the first blood will be the first one to fall on his team. NRG answers back with a kill of their own.
And also look at the composition that NRG have here. Whenever that apple comes out from NOSQ, any of them can immune it. Geb could ult or shield. You also saw Yam in there with the Horizon just pop his ult himself.
Sure.
And then Raven gets hit by it. He's not going to be too worried either.
Right there. That right there is why NRG, that's the showing of the veteranship. I'm gonna say it. Mark it on your bingo cards. The stuff after the stuff. The immediacy of how NRG, they get a kill that, all right, it's a quick chip kill in the mid lane, but the immediacy that they run to the jungle and look for the invade, that's that veteran.
But that's why Adapting was even in that position anyway. It was like, hey guys, their speed's coming up soon. Yep. I'm gonna wait here, look for a cheeky rotation. Oh, he leapt. Okay, let's all in. Get a pick and then rotate to the speed.
Yeah, that's the entire reason you could argue that NRG actually are interested in that kill in the first place. So not only do they kick down the Circuit that got the first blood, but they also get the enemy speed buff because of it. So NRG up basically a clean 1,000 gold.
But Nocturne are doing well to stay in this game. Like they are behind in terms of experience, but they're still fighting well. They're in and out in terms of the engagements. Haven't been too bad whatsoever. They've supported each other and actually put a bit of pressure on NRG at times.
Well, here at this point in the game, Hinduman, with Discordia, if she doesn't get that root with her second ability, she has no impact. Even with the apple, she's just not that scary.
Strike is a very good ability, but the problem with it is that it is kind of tricky to actually make sure you hit 2 targets. Hitting one's good, hitting 2 is the dream. Yeah, but anything else.
So exactly. And what I'm saying is, in this early stage of the game, it's basically a root.
Yeah.
And everything else kind of tickles. You're not really doing that much damage. So for Nocturnes to be able to do this without that presence in the mid lane, comparatively speaking to Yaman's Raijin, who clears the lane before he even loads into the map.
Yep.
Like, that's very nice to see.
So we're approaching 10 minutes, which means we'll get the Portal Demon spawning as well soon enough, and a bit more pressure on the right-hand side that could start to happen, even though most of the action has been mid and solo so far. Emilito, first to level 12, so his second relic is available. Full Devour's Gauntlet online too, so he's happy as Larry on the left-hand side for the time being.
Yeah.
Just farming away, and the worst thing is it's a moves and carve. You can't. Dimmy said it on the desk too. Probably in terms of picks and bans, he was the strongest hunter available in Dimmy's eyes, outside of Ul, who was banned away.
Adapting right-hand side, baits, smelling blood. Maniac trying to bait players into being over-aggressive. Keep an eye on how SMITE is not using that jump because they know exactly where Kenneth's at.
And that's such a good play from Nocturnes there. They're like, oh, you fake back in? You know what? I'll pretend that I'm going to engage on you and see if we can lure Adapting so we can kill him instead. But it got smelled out eventually.
Adapting, still looking for it. There's the zigzag and safety under the tower. Love that play, and I think this should be a staple of jungle play. You see a lot of junglers doing it. I'm not trying to paint that Adapting's the only one, but carrying the sentry ward in your pocket for when you know you're being warded to take advantage of that. That should be a staple of jungle play, and I love to see when players do it.
And just so you know, Adapting actually earned 100 gold off that one sentry ward there as well. So that ward cost him 20 Gs.
Yep.
And didn't waste as much of his time that he could have if he continued to hang around not realizing that was going on.
Because, and actually, Nocturnes does a good job there. We'll continue our conversation after this inevitable invade. Adapting, looking for blue buff, focuses on SMITE, gets the kiss, zigzag is strong.
Rotations.
And the jump out from Circuit secures the blue buff for energy. As Hinderman called, the rotations are nice.
Yeah, they're nice enough to just slow them down, but the big thing there is Nocturnes got their own speed buff. They weren't in the greatest position to stop this. Nozq, awkward position for him to be in. Even awkward now. Apple a Day does not keep energy away.
Doesn't keep anybody away at this moment. Maybe later on. As I said, Discordia definitely comes online a little bit later. Right now, not too much of a threat. And that, he just got caught walking in the wrong direction.
I'm talking about the mages a little bit more. Doom Orb is the flavor of the day so far. We saw some buffs to that after Super Regionals, and looks like the mid laners have adapted to that. No Book of Tough Rush here. It's Doom Orb investment.
I love the item. It's an early game item. A lot of sustain as well. Rapper pulled through the wall. Help is coming. Adapting, making his way over there. But either way, successful deterrence and no Gold Fury taken by NRG.
Nice to just see Noitulova getting that on the board with just a pulse. You just want to get your eye in a little bit. Pulling Geb's not the greatest thing in the world, especially if he's got ultimate available, because even if he doesn't want to use it, he can just walk away most of the time anyway.
But by pulling the Geb, I mean, you strip away the protection on the Gold Fury, and that's a big deal. Going back to that Doom Orb, though, I mean, this item was recently changed. It's now giving you 60 power off the bat, and it's less punishing to die with it, as your stacks only reach 40. Yeah. And I'm gonna, just the old classic, do more with Doom Orb. You're stomping out the gate with this item. And
it's just strong. 60 magical power up front is huge. The MP5 also very important. The mana regeneration is allowing them in the early game to be able to start off with the Lost Artifact, along with Sands of Time, means that they've got enough regen that they don't have to go back to base as quick.
Exactly.
Which was around level 4 to 5. You'd hit that point of like, I'm out of mana, but I'm also level 5, so I really would like to fight now. This can allow you to fight before you go back to base.
Exactly. So for a character like Discordia that struggles in the early game, this item allows her to sort of crutch forward. And unfortunately, across the way, Yaman is relatively fine and just amplifying his early game even more so.
Sure, and that's been the whole pressure being on the right-hand side from Energy this whole game has just forced the mid laners from both teams to be rotating this way too.
Ultimate coming out from the Xingqian. There's a little bit of help. Root under the tower, Adapting, not willing to commit under said tower just yet. Gonna hold his horses. Pings coming out in the mid lane.
And there's a good bit of pressure once again. Just continue seeing Adapting showing his face like, hey, Beltway, I'm still here. Hey, I'm still here. SMITE, on the other hand, has been a bit more rotating, but he's not found anything is the biggest issue. Like, he looks towards the left-hand side a little bit there, looking for some pressure onto Amelito. Wasn't able to find it just yet.
14 minutes in here, 3 kills on the map, and NRG owned 2 of them. Not the first, however. Jumping in onto the speed buff is Adapting, unable to secure it away.
No, but that'll be a nice little call for Nocturnes to go, hey, the ultimate is down for Adapting on this Raven. Maybe we can defend the blue buff now and take a fight.
Love this call. Too heavy on the right side of the map. Opens the door for the Gold Fury. Here we're going to see the rush, but in comes blinking Geb. Just a Geb, still enough to keep Nocturnes off the objective, but now the turn.
He's just trying to buy as much time as possible, but the apple is loose. The apple is down, but Amelito is taken out SMITE, and round the back comes Adapting.
He's not going to be able to get the straggler, but Adapting picks one right up in the face, and Amelito with the W, ladies and gentlemen. Nocturne started the Gold Fury.
I love the call.
Energy will finish it.
I love the call, but Raptor showed so much experience there. Like, guys, where's the other 2? I bet they're on gold. He blinked early just to get vision of how low the Gold Fury was.
Yep.
He saw it and went, guys, we're okay, you take your time. Oh, they're engaging on me. Well, I guess when you get here, we can kill them all. I might die, but you'll get a couple of kills. He lives, and they also get the Gold Fury.
That was the inexperience of Nocturnes right there. We all see the Reddit posts of Gold Fury being stolen by a Geb auto.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really happen until it actually happens to you.
Oh, well, they could actually buy off even more here, Energy, and this is a big swing in the game, because for a game that felt relatively even, or, Nocturne was staying in it, after that first kill they got for themselves and the way they're trying to defend, that big swing of the Gold Fury into the Portal Demon is huge.
Yeah, when you get the 2-for-1 special, it's a little bit rough.
It's a 5K lead in seconds.
If Nocturnes sticks to that Gold Fury, It's dead before the reinforcements come.
Agreed.
Raffer has to get lucky to steal it. The ensuing fight, I don't know. Coin flip because you didn't engage on Raffer with all your abilities.
Yeah. That's one of those testers, though, after where you're like, okay, so Geb just ulted. We should be able to all in this Geb before they get here. Can we do that in time? Answer is no, Geb was too tanky. Equals we all die and we lose a Gold Fury. It's one of those calls that you make in the game, you're like, oh, maybe we should have all in Geb there. Yep. We should have just maybe walked away, realizing we've been caught, got his blink and his ultimate. That's not too bad, is it? Like, then we could try and win this shit again later on.
Yeah. Again, if Nocturne's focused on that objective, much different game instead. It falls down to the defending world champions. An NRG rocket up, like you said, to a nice little lead here in our mid game. This
is like set up attempt adapting, because he's really got one on this right-hand side. It feels like just sat here, making sure that Maniac is just getting unpressured by SMITE, because if he turns up here, he's 4 levels down now.
This solo side, and we usually say like 1, 2, 2. It's been 1.5 in that solo lane. Adapting has been there half the time and just kind of held Maniac's hand the entirety of it. Nocturnes here, their speed buff is spawning, but NRG want to make it theirs.
That's where the pings were in mid, because Emilito started cheekily coming over here to support if required. Nocturnes will not defend their speed buff. They realize there's just too many members around for anyone to really rotate. So Emilito keeping him busy in mid.
Level 18.
Yep. He got 2 kills in that Gold Fury fight as well, but they weren't really needed for him. The scary thing is it looks like he might actually be investing into the Magi's Blessing as well, which is going to cause even more problems for them, because a CC is for free. Like, he's going to absorb it every time, then he's still got beads.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I want to focus on that item, because we just came out of a couple of months ago a world where everybody bought a defensive item.
Yep.
This is strictly about the fact that Emilito is playing a character with not a lot of buttons to push and options to get out of trouble, and Magi's Blessing is going to help that. This is a much different item than a Hide of the Urchin.
Yeah, I mean, the big key for this is, like, it's a free beads every X seconds. And being able to use that, look at these CC abilities that Nocturnes Gaming are going to use on you. There isn't that many that are going to break that bubble unless it's something pretty relatively big, and then even then you've still got beads left over for the next one that follows up.
You know, I'm looking at this this Oncule here on the jungler, on the Circuit, and I'm just not sold on how much work it's going to do. The raw stats are nice, and I think that's why you pick it up anyway, but the passive I don't think is going to help SMITE much.
We'll take into account that he's going to blink into a target, and there's 3 magical damage dealers on energy too, so you're going to at least silence one of them when they hit you. You're going to be in melee range more than likely with Wishing 10 or the Geb, or if you're trying to get the Raijin in range there. So hang on, Blue Buff's being looked at by both here.
Yeah, either way, NRG picking up one more time, and Maniac grab it. 4 players deep as Nocturnes gets the taunt on a Maniac. 1 ult for the other.
I like the ult coming out from Maniac there just to make sure he gets away for free. There's no real follow-up that they can do. Meanwhile, left-hand side, you've got Yamin now pressuring onto the Hachi man here, who's just going to try and juke out as much as he can, but this could be a tier 1 tower for free.
Yeah, this will absolutely be the tower. Yamin out here basically playing the role of the solo lane, making sure that the enemy is zoned out. And there it goes.
On the right, though, there's still 4 members of Nocturnes grouped up looking at a tier 1 of their own. NRG, though, waiting in the wings in the jungle. Blink is available for Raffer. Keep an eye on Raffer in the blinks.
Nas here just trying to tunnel damage into that little corridor. Having trouble trying to get this tower down, and that's an issue for Nocturnes. They really need to answer tower for tower.
They're going to give it up. They're going to give it up here. There's only Raffer here to defend. Everybody else has fallen back. So 1 for 1, left tower for right tower, but then again, you also take into account the other towers are down anyway. So all tier 1s outside of mid have been taken down. Village.
Still a 6K game, been about that for 5 minutes or so since NRG took out the Gold Fury once upon a time and then moved on to the Portal Demons. So NRG comfortably in the lead. Nocturnes looking for their entrance ramp back into this one, and it will be this Gold Fury.
Yeah, and the Gold Fury is going to be very telling this game, at least for this one specifically. You actually look at confirmation damage. It's NRG that have an advantage there, I want to say, over Nocturnes Gaming for actually be able to secure that. Not so much with NozQ in that mid lane on Discordia. She's not going to be the greatest at Gold Fury control.
Emil having fun here. Both player cam and character model telling me that. Little taunt towards Noi 2 lever.
It's
Gold
a warm-up
Fury
day,
already
you know,
50%, and nobody near it.
That's the thing about placements, though. It's kind of a warm-up day for all teams. Like, okay, this is the stage. This is what we need to do. And NRG just going through the motions, it feels like, this game. They're not doing anything too crazy or showing too many things away.
Far too late. Nocturnes, like, thinks about flirting with the Portal Demon, but by the time they even fire a shot, NRG already on the right side.
Well, they have to stop this. They have to fight here. They can't just keep giving away objectives for free. They gave the gold for free. That means you've got to fight this Portal Demon.
And that's what's going to happen. SMITE Terror on the back end. Trouble, he's going to get collapsed on. Raffer takes him out. Meanwhile, ultimate from Discordia on top of Raffer. Not too much to talk about. Maniac takes down the support. Beltway trying to find an exit.
I don't think Beltway will find an exit as they're blinking from Raffer. Believes that was a double kill for Raffer in the end as the game went on there. So what's that? 3 kills in favor of NRG. Portal Demon now. The result of that should be available to them, and maybe even the fire after that.
Exactly. Here's the thing, though, with the Hunter and the mid laner are still available. Those are the ones that are going to threaten your objective the most. Nice zone coming out from NRG. Portal Demon for the Europeans.
But I don't think NRG, Discordia doesn't threaten the same way that a lot of other majors will. Strife is the only real threat in these fights around Gold Fury and Portal Demon and the Fire Giant. Clumping them together so the Fire Giant does knock-up damage to all of them is great. But once you've got no ultimate there, what are you going to do? Like, from range, what have you got? Nothing.
So her first and her second ability will actually do a lot of damage when combined.
Correct.
But you got to be so close. Not quite Evo close,
no.
But you got to be up close and personal. You're not doing it from a distance. Nocturnes not doing anything distance or close up to the Fire Giant. And NRG secure that one more time.
And then the question is, where do NRG turn to next? Because it's only really tier 2 towers remaining for them to take down. Left-hand side, or just push all 3 at the same time. I don't think anyone's really too worried about forcing to group up here.
Yeah, just back by. It's a very comfortable game for NRG. All they have to do is keep on doing what they're doing. Emil is a truck right now.
I will say, I really like the whole of Nocturnes comp. I'm just not sure about the Discordia last pick more than anything else. It's just the one thing that didn't really seem to fit to the style that they went for here. But maybe I'm wrong, you know? We'll see more Discordia for the tournament, I'm sure, and we'll see if it can be put to better use than it is right now.
She's a brawler. That's really what it is for me, and we're just not seeing that brawl come out.
Well, I mean, NRG's not really given a chance to brawl. It's been all in or all out. There's been no in-between.
Yeah, it's exactly. And not working out for Nocturnes here.
Well, tier 2 on the right is down into the mid lane. They're looking to pressure, forcing the blink out of SMITE there. Actually really important, means that he's going to be trickier for him to initiate without using the ambush.
Look at that. That is the ability that you're ranking up as the Discordia, and it did nothing. There's no damage there. Maniac got taken.
But they did manage to get Amelito's Magi's, but he won't care. By the time they're pushing the left-hand tier 2 here, he should have that Magi's back available in 60 seconds time. As you can see, counting down. Nocturnes need to choose where to stand, though. They tried to stand at the Portal Demon, didn't work out well. It's basically the Phoenixes at this point that you should be looking to try and stand at. That's where a lot of teams can make comebacks, and we've seen it a lot this year because of it.
Which is also where Discordia is going to flourish. There's a smaller area to really fight under, and that limited range that I was talking about, Discordia is going to be able to take advantage of these closer walls. The Strife is going to be more impactful, and she's really going to be able to have more of an impact versus these big open areas by the objectives.
Keep an eye on NRG because he did just use his invisibility, which means that they may look to try and pick him earlier on. Kisses for Amelito and Raffer. They've probably done that a few times in their careers together, so it's not going to be any different than usual.
Not touching that one. However, NRG trying to touch Nocturne's left side. Phoenix grouped up as 5. Yaman in the back. Love this guy's positioning. Always safe, but still dangerous as hell for the opposition. Knock-up taken advantage of, and Yaman brings the support down to half.
And now the drums of war have started from Yaman, but they're not the greatest. They're going to look at SMITE around the back, though. The apple did hit onto Raffer. Raffer's down. Apple will spread again, but Amelito, he's just chunking the front line. Beltway is gone.
And there's that meditation allowing NRG to stay up front and center. Love the play by SMITE Terror, however. Before he goes into his assault, he pre-beads, understanding he's going to get jumped on right on the back line. There's going to be adapting, doing the jumping. NRG forced into the Aegis, and Amelito focusing on the Phoenix. That's a dead bird.
Yeah, there's the free Phoenix on the left-hand side now. They will have to fall back. It did cost them Raffer in trade of Beltway. It's not all doom and gloom. I did like the med use, though, like you mentioned. Combine that with the Fire Giant, too. It just means a situation like that would have been like, all right, I guess we can fall back for Fire Giant regen. One quick med, and you're like, all right, we can go one more time.
So we went, like I said, Maniac kind of told us he wasn't going to be going shell by going the meditation early on instead of the shell, right? we see sprint instead of the blink that I had anticipated. Why do you think we see the speed up move?
Well, it does have the upgradable version for the Fatalis effect to an extent where it's go faster for the whole team, technically.
It's just gas pedal for Emil?
Well, not just Emil. I mean, it will help out as well with Raijin. I mean, getting Raijin a little bit closer in range would help a lot more.
Emil has enough for whatever he wants right now.
Probably looking at Chins, I guess.
Either Deathbringer or Chins.
He's got a dagger, so I'm
no
guessing
thorns.
Chins.
Yeah, there it is, Chins. I didn't
No real
realize he had the
surprise.
dagger already.
I don't even think he needs Chins because the front line isn't that tanky right now, but, you know, percentage help.
What you're used to.
Classic. I'm glad you didn't go. I was surprised you didn't, I was going to say, would we see some crit, but we do see a Thorns on Beltway anyway. So.
Well, no, this is the match that you go crit. There's a single Thorns, no Nemeans. Man, this is the one where you want to see the big numbers.
Well, when you're in that build right now and you're your last item, you don't go crit on that last item. You kind of have to go for a Chins or, you know, Titan's Bane or something like that. But then you've got an Executioner, so why are you going Titans just yet, you know? The trade-offs are different now.
You don't go. The reason you don't go Titans is because of the lack of structures, not because of the Executioner. However, that's a whole different conversation.
It's trade-offs. That's the way I'm looking at it.
These are the late night arguments that you have with your friends over your casual game.
And then somebody's always like, "No, you're wrong. You're always wrong."
Hey, yeah, man. There's always an exception, whether you're doing Executioner and Titan's Bane or you're overcapping CDR by 10 for Mantle of Discord.
Or, you know, Chronos Pendant. That's got good CDR reduction too.
There you go.
That technically gives you 50%.
Incredible.
Legally.
Incredible.
Well, the one thing that a lot of the fans at home and around the world were expecting is LG
3 of them
versus NRG in the quarterfinals. And it's looking like that will be the case unless something changes dramatically for Nocturnes Gaming.
Listen, I have friends at home that need this to be called out. Do you see how many people just got knocked up by the fire giant?
This on the bingo card.
You're professionals. You've been doing this for how many years?
It's on the bingo cards. Listen, next year it'll be different too.
Weekend.
To be fair, I believe the NRG kids were playing the Season 5 map here at Hi-Res Expo earlier on. So maybe they just weren't used to getting knocked up or, you know, different mechanics. Who knows?
Whatever you want to sell. However, right now, NRG are looking to buy the right side. Phoenix, love the positioning from Nocturnes on the left-hand side, looking for the sneak snipe. Instead, Maniac spots it out.
Oh, well, there's Sylvanas in a world of hurt. He won't get away. Look how long it took him to get his ult off because Yamin just controlled him the entire time.
I really love how Yamin has played this character this game, knowing when to bring the damage and when to bring the control. Beltway controlled all the way to the fountain, adapting again. 5-0-5 for King Kenneth as the mid lane Phoenix falls down.
And in goes Yamin a little bit more, looking for some pressure onto Hachiman, who has to dash away. Aegis down too. In the back though, SMITE looking for some sort of play, but I don't think he's going to find it at this stage.
Yeah, he's going to land on Yamin. A little bit of help from Raffer. Chaos Titan starting at 78 and quickly falling. Tossed in the other direction. Chaos Titan 17, 14, and that's game. Nocturnes fall to the defending world champion.